Hi, welcome to Main and 5WA channel. Today's session is going to be the most valuable session for students and professionals because we are going to talk about a new trend which is picked up, which is called as algorithm as service. Because the world is today ruled out with new algorithms which are trying to solve complex problems, and the main and 5WH is trying to take an initiative to really train professionals and students into these new modern algorithms. So I'm going to speak about these initiatives. So we already been doing this for a couple of students, batches, and everybody, but we just thought we'll share this in a broader sense. So what is this main and 5WH algorithm as service is? We have selected 101 algorithms which are very key for business for the future. Now, these 101 will guarantee that you have enough knowledge to cover most of the new trends which are there in the market. So there are two ways to learn a subject. One is you try to look at like this is digital transformation, this is cloud, you move into Amazon, you move into Google, and you start working on the independent components. The other is to look at behind the scenes understanding of this component. So let's see some demonstration which will help you to understand what we are trying to talk here. So let me just show you. Number one is I'm just opening up basically this is an Amazon Web Service console. Now, when you see these menus, so how are the students generally trained is like they've been taught about different services which Amazon has created. If you go into GCP, if you go into Azure, and they start working on this and learning this and then start implementing solutions. But the ability to make decisions is still lacking in most of the students. Let me give an example. If you really look at like if you want to create a load balancer, now load balancer as a topic, as a subject, like if you have really been an engineering student or something, has got a lot of, maybe it's worth to cover that for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So when you tell create load balancer, it's going to give you more an easy option, like it's an application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancer. Now when you tell create, it's going to ask you a lot more questions. Now, we are interested to make students understand what are these protocols mean, what is this different IP address types. So this is something which really we see that there is a lack of knowledge into the student base, right? So like that, we have picked up a lot of topics from the consoles. Number one, where the understanding have to be very huge. Number two is we are talking about emerging technologies, which is AI, deep learning, machine learning. There are a lot of algorithms which are coming here on a modern algorithm. So like, for example, if you're buying some purchase in your Amazon mobile app, so you can see that how to increase the performance, how to geographically tune it. So there are so many algorithms which runs before you actually see the app. So trying to building that in a very structured way is very difficult, because normally what happens, you get pointed discussion into something specific and then the overall foundational knowledge is lost. So basically its idea is to build the strong foundation. So what we have done fundamentally is to create a 5WA Genius course. So basically what we do here is we teach 101 algorithms here, which has been listed here, and cover it as part of an hands-on labs. Basically, let me take an example, like we are talking about water ant colony algorithm. So this is one algorithm which a student tries to learn, tries to see its applicability, try to see where it can be really used. It could be again basically a segment tree. So like that, we have picked up 101 algorithm. Like that, we have a section where we are trying to cover the student in terms of the development questions. Basically, what is very important for a student to understand from a full stack, from a DevOps, from a continuous delivery, from automation, cloud native, Google Cloud Platform. So we run a primer here with a lot of things so that the students are foundationally very strong. Similar to that, we also cover a mastery, algo mastery. Now what it means is, like if you really have visited any website like this, you can see that this is in Wikipedia of algorithms. There are so many algorithms which is listed here. A certain algorithm of this are a bit outdated. Certain things are still very much valid because these are all being enhanced today in the, maybe while you're doing a search, while you're doing a sorting, while you're trying to do a maybe a binary search, okay, while you're trying a B tree on a LinkedIn. So we are trying to make the topic very interesting. Like if you're doing a tweet, what happens in a Twitter, what happens. So these development thing which is behind the product management hoods of things in research, we are trying to bring it to a student so that he becomes an algorithm king, number one. Number two, algorithm as service is like we have a publishing place where we allow students to publish these algorithms, because in the future these are the algorithms which will be reusable. So previously we used to call it as a component world or a service oriented architecture. Now we are calling the entire algorithm is to be reusable. It has to be validated, it has to be changed, etc., etc. So that's the stuff we are trying to do for the students, and hopefully this goes for 6 to 8 weeks of sessions, which is currently which we are running through, and we hopefully try to cover at least 1 lakh students in the next 3 years, fundamentally to really make them a master of algorithms. So irrespective of what you are doing in an IT or a computer science, or if you are learning information technology from a generic perspective, becomes a very super essential course. Okay, for more details, you could really contact us. We can provide you more details about how we run this course and what kind of logistics is required, blah, blah, blah. And we also have referred more than 40-50 courses which are available today online, to really see what are some good things which we really see and where you can go and continue your studies, because there are a lot of good courses already available. We try to complement, we don't call ourselves as the best course, we try to see that there are good courses available, but we are connecting more towards the student from an industry professional perspective, because we all come from an industry background. We're trying to cover things which are more industry driven, more related to what happens in oil and gas, what happens in the banking, what happens in the insurance, so that the knowledge is really built from the algorithms. Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully to see you in one of the classes in the future, and it will be a huge beneficial for you as for the entire career.